thank you everybody for joining us. On behalf of Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology, I welcome all of you. So far we have around 225 participants, and I think many of us are still joining us. So first I would like to express my thanks and welcome Dr. Shankar Venugopal, Vice President, Mahindra and Mahindra, for consenting to provide this webinar on the topic how to innovate and grow exponentially. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Sure.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So we have a lot of information coming up in a very short span of time. So I think without further ado, now I would like to hand over to our Vice Chairman, Dr. Shankar Venugopal, to welcome our Chief Guest.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much for taking time off to talk to our students. It's very nice of you. And congratulations. I heard that you were just you now have an active role in the DST. Anand sir was just giving me this. It would be great.
Oh, excellent. Sure.
That's a very nice thing, sir. Congratulations on that.
Thanks a lot. Sure.
So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining. I thought it's I'd feel the privilege of introducing the chief guest from Anand sir for this occasion. So Dr. Shankar is one of the most leading technology innovators in India, especially in the automotive front. He's passionate towards scouting new technology and translating it into breakthrough innovation. His areas of interest are electric vehicles, connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, and precision farming. He's been recognized by the World Innovation Congress as one of the top 50 innovative leaders globally. Prior to joining Mahindra and Mahindra as Vice President, as well as the Head of Technology Innovation, Intellectual Property and Knowledge Management Organization there, Dr. Shankar has held technology innovation leadership roles at GE, Dow, Honeywell, and Cummins. He holds patents in numerous new product innovation awards. He has developed a proprietary innovation methodology, innovation flow, and trained 1,000+ inventors and innovators. He has also headed global cross-functional teams to deliver critical innovation for business growth, along with an excellent track record in material innovation and new product development. Shankar sir had obtained his PhD in material science and is a gold medalist for the best doctoral thesis from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He completed his executive management program from the IIM Bangalore, and he is also an avid reader and has a keen interest in physics, philosophy, and psychology. He teaches technology innovation management at premier engineering and management institutes across the globe, and is a dean of Mahindra Technical Academy. He has also delivered a wonderful TEDx session and is a very well-known keynote speaker. So, sir, I could go on and on, but I'd stop there. I'd hand over the floor to you. So thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks, Dr. Shankar, for his excellent introduction. I really look forward to this session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So now I would like to hand over the session to our student interviewer, that is our final year Ilanthiraiyan, final year mechanical engineering. So Ilanthiraiyan have listed a list of interesting questions to ask sir, so that he can share his knowledge on innovation. So now I hand over the session to Ilanthiraiyan.
Thanks, Anand. We'll do that. Sure.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
All right, everyone. Hi, my name is Ilanthiraiyan. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. It's a delight to have you here on this auspicious day. So, with no further ado, can we get into the interview?
Absolutely. Sure. I'm very eager to get started. Sure.
All right, sir. So, the first question to you is, right now in this pandemic, I can't obviously find a better question one. So, with innovation, do you believe that diseases can be averted? All these disease outbreaks and this kind of a scenario, does innovation have the power to resolve all that kind of situation? I'm asking because people like Bill Gates, who has spent millions of dollars into improving hygiene methods by means of self-running toilets and polio aversion. He has even spent millions of dollars in that and completely eradicated that disease. Things like that has been happening for a long time in this world, and yet we have ended up in a huge pandemic under lockdown, all of us. So this all seems very surprising. So, do you believe that innovation has the power to avert this, and are we on the right track?
Sure. A very good question to start the discussion today. Um, Innovation is a very powerful tool, and I'm glad that we as a human race have this unique capacity to create and innovate. Having said this, can we avoid a situation like this? Can we totally avoid a pandemic like the COVID-19 that we are facing today? One thing I can tell for sure is we can minimize the impact of a pandemic on our lives through innovation. But whether we can totally avoid, I doubt. Because even in innovation, as we solve one problem, some other problem crops up. And then we go on to solve the next problem. So it's a continuous journey. There is nothing like reaching the destination. We keep solving one problem, next problem, next problem. It's a continuous journey. So always a pandemic like this poses a new problem which has not been solved in the past. So it's a unique opportunity for the innovator to rise to the occasion, take it up, and then solve it. And it's many times there are two types of people. One type of people feel that, oh, they feel very negative about it and say, oh God, this pandemic, I can't do anything. I can't even go to my college, can't go to my office, I'm stuck at home, what do we do? But there is other class of people who take it as an opportunity to really, because suddenly there is some time that's freed up for you now. This is a time for you to really rethink how you have been doing stuff. To kind of reboot and reignite and say, I'm going to do things differently going forward. And if you look at instances in the lives of people, for example, Newton, when he was in college, there was a pandemic and then the college closed down and he came back home. And then he was at home for a few months. And during these few months at home, that's when he discovered the theory of gravity, the entire physics of optics, and also the powerful tool of calculus. Imagine somebody in a shutdown mode, sitting at home, away from classes and books and whatnot, coming up with optics, gravity, and calculus. So that's how Newton took the same situation. Instead of feeling negative about it, he took it in a positive way and said, this is what I'm going to use this time. Similarly, we have seen a lot of inventions that came up post the First World War and post the Second World War, when the economy was down, people didn't have jobs, things were very bad. That's when a lot of inventions came. Especially if you look at the inventions post Second World War, inventions like the ATM machine, the ballpoint pen, the Nescafe, things that are common things for us today. We cannot imagine life without a ballpoint pen or an ATM machine, more importantly. And all these things happened during the post Second World War, during one of the toughest phases. So science and discovery happens during times, crisis times like this. Inventions happen. And more interestingly, even new business models come up during a crisis time like this. If you look at Uber, Airbnb, Alibaba, it was all during the financial downturn when the economy was really bad. When people are looking at, can I use my car to increase my earnings? Can I use the extra room in my house to make more money? This is how those models really, although they came up a little earlier, they picked up momentum and became mainstream only during the financial downturn. So a crisis is, in a sense, an opportunity to innovate, because you don't have a choice. Any conventional thinking ideas are not going to help you. You have to think out of the box. You have to think innovatively if you want to come out of a crisis. So that way, crisis is the ideal situation, the ideal time for us to innovate. So to answer your question, through innovation, we cannot avoid a pandemic situation, but we can definitely minimize the impact and also use this to come up with innovative ideas and create a new future. Those are the opportunities that a pandemic really offers.
Thank you, sir. Well said. Well said. Really, that those few words
It's
gave
just
us a
up to
lot
you
of.
to turn it around. It's all in your hands, the way you look at it. Sure.
Exactly, sir. Looking into a negative thing, and ultimately there is a positive point to that also. That's
Absolutely.
wonderful. All right, sir. Moving on. So, open innovation. This term has been put around a lot in this past few years. Corporations, it maybe corporations, schools or colleges or whatnot. They've been putting up expos and events to bring up open innovation. All these things are they leading to some? Are they leading somewhere? And what is this open innovation term that has been carried around? That is being carried around right now?
Okay. Let me give an example before exactly defining open innovation. This was, I was working for GE's global research in India. And so I'm familiar with some of the problems that GE solved very successfully through open innovation. So I'll use one of those examples to introduce to you how it works. So there was a situation, the GE aircraft engines business, they wanted to reduce the weight of the engines. So when an aircraft engine weight is reduced, basically the fuel efficiency improves and there is a positive impact on the environment with so many airplanes taking off and landing every day, so many thousands are happening. So they looked at, is there a way to reduce the weight of the various components in an aircraft engine? And they chose a very, very commonly used component, which is like a hinge. It's like a L-shaped hinge which holds multiple parts together. Okay? And it's a very simple component. There is nothing much you can do differently out there. And when they asked their own in-house experts to say, can we reduce the weight of this? What is the maximum weight reduction we can achieve? And their experts said 5%, 10% is the maximum one can achieve because over time we have already done whatever we can do. So it's very difficult to reduce more than 10% weight for this. Okay, fine. Then they had this idea. They had something called the Ecomagination challenge, which is pose a problem on their portal, especially problems which are related to environment, where through a technology we can make a positive impact on the environment. And then let the whole world look at those problems and submit their ideas. They offered a price for that, some cash price, like say $10,000, kind of a reasonable price to attract people. And then say, okay, this is a problem we are interested in solving. Please post your ideas. So when G did this, people all over the world submitted ideas. These are basically designs for this. And then the top 10 were selected and they were asked to go ahead and 3D print their design and make sure that it meets all the performance requirements. Since it's going on aircraft engine, very stringent requirements would be there that it has to meet. It was all done. And finally, the first prize went to a person from, I think it was from Indonesia. Okay. This person's got the prize, fine. Okay. But can you imagine how much weight reduction his design would have yielded? The target was about 10% weight reduction. And then that's what was announced. And this person got the first prize. Can you guess how much weight reduction this person's design would have given?
Even that 10% is a hard thing, sir.
Yeah, 10% is large actually, and this is not very complicated. It's a simple component, and it should be simple enough for scaling up and manufacturing it in large numbers. So how much do you think maximum this design could have given a weight reduction?
Possibly 1 or 2% more. I don't know.
1 or 2% more. So instead of 10%, maybe 12%. And if he's lucky, maybe 20%. Possible. So now comes the real climax of the story, where you will understand the power of open innovation. 80%. 80% weight reduction. So you can imagine how excited the people would have been to see that. Because this is a very commonly used component. This goes in large numbers in each engine because all the moving parts are held together and stuff. So look at this. GE, one of the best technology companies, has an interesting problem to solve, which has a potential for a very positive impact on the environment. And then instead of trying to do it themselves, they opened it up and said, let the best person in the world who has got idea that is something. And this unknown person, somewhere in the other end of the world, in Indonesia, he is able to come up. His name is Kuryawan. So Kuryawan was able to come up with an idea which finally gave 80% weight reduction, and they went ahead, made it, and then put it in all their aircraft engines. And across the world, when aircrafts take, that's a kind of fuel savings, the positive. So this is what happens when you are open to the idea of solving the problem, not within your own organization, but opening it up so that a person who has an idea anywhere in the world can take it up and develop a solution. This is how open innovation works. So different companies have used it to different levels. For example, in Mahindra, we have an open innovation challenge called the Mahindra Rise Challenge. It's a $1 million prize that we give. And it's not just the money. The prize winning team also gets engineering support from us. So they come up with the idea, we also help them to build it and demonstrate and things like that. So this is for a autonomous vehicle technology, self-driving car. This has been there for a few years. We have been running this challenge. Then we have a second challenge, which is on a solar renewable-based application. So yet another company which was very famous for benefiting from open innovation was Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, a lot of this FMCG products. There is a case study which said that almost more than 50% of their new product ideas came from outside the company. That's the extent to which they could use open innovation. So open innovation in simple terms is not trying to solve the problem just by yourself, not just within your organization, but involving the best experts across the globe to solve, going for the best ideas out there. So that's how open innovation works. And for a country like India, it's very important because we can do it very fast and we can also do it at a very minimal cost if we're able to open innovate. So this is a great opportunity for a country like India, and we should pursue that.
Definitely, sir. What a wonderful story that was. 80% is something that is truly astounding, unimaginable.
I will share you the story, the link to it, and you will be really
amazed.
Definitely, actually, the way it has happened. It's very impressive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that one. Moving on, you just said that India is a great place for that kind of open innovation because of the talent pool that exists here. Currently, India is globally ranked 57th on the innovation front. And what are the current existing levels of innovation in India, sir? We wanted to hear it from you, who has been in the business for so long and knows the current status of India. Are we on the right track towards sustainable mobility and development, or do we need still more? We need more pacing from anywhere, any side. Like, what are the current levels? We want to know that from you.
So you're talking about the levels of innovation in terms
in India.
Of being in the 57th rank right now. And
exactly.
Are we doing enough for us to go up further in the innovation ranking? Is that
exactly,
right?
Sure.
My view on this is we have the aspiration. And also a fairly good plan to get into the top 10 ranks in World Innovation Rank. Okay, and which means that we have the potential. We are just talking about how soon we can reach there and what all we need to do towards reaching there. Okay, and when I say this, there are multiple parties who have to come together. Just like we talked about open innovation, where we have to involve many more people to solve problems in an innovative way. For us as a country to go up in innovation ranking and get into the top 10, I see that the academia, which is universities like yourself, the industry, which is companies like us, the government, all three need to come together and have a very clear roadmap to say, if I want to be in the top 10 in the next 3 years, what am I going to do in year 1 and year 2 and year 3? And how are we going to measure whether we are making progress or not? So we need to work together. First of all, we need to come together, evolve a roadmap, and then systematically measure it and make sure we achieve it. So this is the very first and foremost requirement. Otherwise, we have the potential, just a matter of we doing it in a systematic way and involving all the right people. There are instances of what industry and academia can come together, how they can benefit. Especially it will benefit the students because they become industry ready when they work on industry relevant problems. It will be a very interesting and exciting thing for the faculties also to work on industry relevant problems rather than purely academic research problems. The government has been investing a lot to support research which is oriented towards the needs of the industry. Okay? The DST, the CRB have special funding for industry relevant research, where a person from academia and a person from industry come together, create a research proposal, and then say that we are going to develop this technology, and with the help of industry, we are going to take it all the way to the market. So such research proposals are funded by the government. It's called industry relevant research. This is a very important move in the direction of going up the innovation ranking. Also, I have been part of committees called Nidhi Prayas. Nidhi Prayas and EIR. These are basically if you are a student or if you are a tech entrepreneur, if you have an idea, if you want to go and present your idea to investors and get some funding, they would ask you, okay, idea is good, but can you show me proof of concept? Can you prove that the idea works? Can you show me something that works? So for that, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources to do that. All you have is idea. So this Nidhi Prayas and ER, which is again done by the government, these are schemes which will help you with the funding and the resources and the mentoring to do a proof of concept for your idea. This is again an initiative by the government where every entrepreneur who has an idea will be able to make use of this and do a very nice proof of concept for their ideas. So these are the right directions, which is already happening around us to take us up and finally get us into the top 10 ranks in terms of global innovation ranking. So I'm very, very positive, and we'll all get to see that happening in the next 3 years time frame. So, but we need to have a plan, and we all need to work together to make it happen.
Definitely, sir. We're all waiting for that auspicious future to happen.
Imagine how nice it will be.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Top 10 is a huge deal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, sir. Moving on. Next up, cars. Obviously, you are one of the highest known people in the automotive sector in India, and I'm going to personally ask this to you because I've been always fantasized by cars all along. Be it the latest emergence of technologies like the hybrid or electrification of cars, or not, even in motorsports, wherein Formula E has been introduced in the last few years. Even Mahindra has a team in Formula E racing, and things like that are happening. And the whole transportation system / automotive field is on a breakthrough. It's on a cusp where they're leading towards the future, but we do not know where it is. Example, companies like Tesla, where they are bringing out electric cars, and even following them, supercar companies like Porsche, BMW, all of them, they are coming inside and bringing in supercars so that the old school thought that electric cars are boring and slow is completely changing and evolving. Coming to that front, what is your thoughts on the future of automotive field, and what is the future of transportation? Is it going to be electric cars or flying cars, maybe whatnot?
Absolutely.
So what is it?
So thanks for bringing this up. This very close to my heart, and I'm so excited to talk about it. One thing, definitely all of us would like to see a flying car and then travel in one such car. And what will happen even before that is the whole mobility technology would become a lot more sustainable than what it is today. By sustainable, what I mean is, today we talk about tailpipe emissions from the vehicles, and then the pollution, especially cities like Delhi, facing the problem during the winter months. So all this will go off when you move from IC engine vehicle which is powered by fossil fuels into electric car. Absolutely, you are in the almost zero pollution range, which is super good for the environment. So this shift is going to happen much faster than any expert would predict. It's just round the corner. But the kind of transformation that you're going to see, it's not just about electric. It's a combination of four big things. From a technology perspective, it will be a combination of electric vehicles, connected vehicles, and also autonomous vehicles. So all these three technologies are going to converge and create the future transportation technology. The fourth one is not a technology disruption, unlike the first three. It's a business model disruption, which is a shared mobility. Other terms, the Olas and the Ubers that we have all been using. So it's a combination of these four, which is really going to change the entire landscape of mobility. Because when you're moving from the internal combustion engine to electric, the fuel efficiency is going to move from, say, 20% all the way up to 90%. It's a big jump. No pollution. And with autonomous vehicles coming in, the accidents, everything is going to come down exponentially. And all these things happen. And today you are using your car maybe for 10% of the time. Other 90% it's lying parked somewhere. So when shared mobility models come in, then the usage of the vehicle is also going to get maximized. So it's a combination of these three technology disruptions and the business model disruption, which is going to really create the future of transportation. Personal transportation, commercial transportation, public. Everywhere you are going to see the convergence of these four disruptions. That's how I see the future shaping up. And it's already happening around us right now.
Okay, so driverless car, to be frank.
Absolutely.
Right,
so in fact, Mahindra as a company, we have been working on a driverless tractor. Okay. So, and we have made a driverless tractor and we have been doing a lot of field trials. So, and we have rich data now from all these field trials. And this is not a very expensive one. This is a small, compact driverless tractor that an Indian farmer can afford. That's a kind of innovation projects that we have been running. And you may wonder why driverless tractor, because primarily with the people moving from the villages to the cities, there is an acute shortage of manpower in the villages.
Okay.
So it makes a lot of sense to introduce more technology and automation in our agricultural practices. So it is with this objective in mind that we started our work on driverless tractors. And more than the technology challenges, we had to make it affordable. That's when we can really make a difference for the lives of farmers. So that's what we really focused on. And we are very happy that we could crack the problem and have a really good product coming out there.
Definitely, sir. Agriculture, that is an important sector for the entire nation as well as the world.
Absolutely, because everybody talks about electric cars and driverless cars.
Exactly.
But in the agricultural space, precision farming, smart implements, use of drones, all these exciting things are happening there. So it's going to be a very, very interesting space to look out for in terms of technology penetration and more automation.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that insight. It's a huge learning that you see today. All right, sir. Going on, innovation front again. Us students, you said that India has a talent pool in one of your interviews I saw on YouTube. So in that perspective, what is the role of us students towards this innovation? From our side, what is the kind of efforts and what are the kind of things that we need to learn and what we need to do to improve innovation on a global front?
Sure. So let me talk about two things which are very important. Okay. Let me start with you. So what is your background?
I'm currently doing my final year mechanical engineering.
Final year mechanical engineering. Okay.
Yes.
And how much of automotive background do you have?
I mean, like,
and a couple of courses related to automotive technology?
Yes. Actually, more than a couple, sir.
Okay. Sure. So let's start with that. So here you are a mechanical engineer aspiring to enter the automotive industry and make an impact through your knowledge and through your innovations. Let's take this situation. So 5 years back, if you are entering the automotive industry, with this mechanical engineering background, you could do amazing work because the entire system is a purely mechanical engineering system, ICE engine powered car vehicle, and you'll be all your knowledge is useful, and you'll be able to come up with interesting problems to work on, and you'll solve, and you'll make a great impact. But if you're joining the same automotive industry 5 years from now, to 2025, just your mechanical engineering knowledge will not be sufficient. Okay, so you need to be a mechanical engineer. You also need to be electrical and electronics engineer, and you also need to know enough of computer programming. All three. Okay, just you being the best mechanical engineer is not going to be sufficient anymore. You need to be 3 in 1: mechanical, electrical and electronics, and a good programmer too for you, because that's how the product is changed the next 5 years. So you need to have all the skill sets. But how do you do that? So you have seen how packed your schedule is. Even to complete all the courses in the mechanical engineering curriculum and do well in that is quite a challenge, let alone going ahead and auditing extra courses in electrical, electronics, learning about programming, all these things. And also there is only 24 hours in a day. So how are you going to manage all these things? So the next 5 years, if you are looking at entering the automotive industry, which we are going to call it as a mobility industry, you need to go beyond your core domain and look at learning enough about adjacent domains. So if you're an electrical electronics engineer, you need to know a little bit about mechanical engineering, little bit basics of programming, coding, stuff. Same if you're a mechanical engineer, you need to learn a little bit of other. Because these partitions, mechanical, electrical, computer, exist only when you are in the college. Once you come to the industry, there is no such partition. It's if you are in a project, you need to know everything. You need to be working on everything. You are in a cross-functional team. You have to understand what every person speaks, and then you have to work. So your ability to go beyond your core domain and pick up knowledge from adjacent domains becomes very important for you to be a successful innovator. This is just an example from the mobility industry, but similar big changes are happening in the other industries also. Manufacturing, chemical. In almost all industries, we see that use of artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, all these are happening in a big way. Irrespective of what engineer you are, whether you are a civil engineer, chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, who you are, you need to learn data science. You need to learn a bit of AI. You need to learn machine learning. A variety of things you need to do so that you can play around with data and create more value for your end users. So these are technologies which are cutting across domains. So that's the first thing. Your ability to broaden your knowledge rather than just having deep knowledge in one domain alone. Your ability to acquire knowledge in multiple domains so that you have good amount of breadth apart from the depth. Depth is important, but along with the depth, you need breadth also. So that's one thing which is very important for you. The second thing is your exposure to problems of interest to the industry. Because when you are in a college, your projects, everything are typically academic in nature. So many of them are hypothetical problems that you define and you solve it. There's a lot of effort that goes into it, no doubt. But it may not really represent a real life problem that the industry is trying to solve. So if you are able to actually connect with the experts in the industry and continuously expose yourself, you need not even wait to come to the final year. Right from first year, you can pick up mentors from the industry, start interacting with them, do some summer projects, stuff like that, so that you get to understand what kind of problems is the industry interested in solving. That will totally change your perspective because you'll be able to use your knowledge and solve real life problems very quickly. And that is what innovation is all about. So 2 points. One is about building as much breadth as your depth by picking up knowledge from adjacent domains. Second is exposing yourself to industry related problems so that you get a lot of experience in solving real life problems in a hands-on manner. These two will be very important for you going forward.
All right, sir. That is the beauty of science, in fact. Everything is interconnected.
Absolutely.
Always.
True.
Even in our institution, our faculty, right since the first year, they've been telling us you are not just a mechanical engineer, you should be an
Absolutely.
expert of all, so that then only you are a capable candidate.
True.
All right,
True.
sir. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that information.
Yes.
So, and moving on, sir. Next on, one single personal question to you. You have been a great part of India's innovation, sir. So, where did you find this passion personally for innovation, sir? We want to know that story behind that. So, yes, sir.
Sure. See, honestly, all of us are creative, all of us are innovative. But we don't think like that. We think that some people are innovative and some people are not innovative. It's a very common thing. There is no doubt that sometimes we think that we are not that innovative as compared to somebody very innovative, like, say, Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. Somebody will say, wow, he's somewhere up above there. I'm just normal, I'm doing very normal. That's very nice. So if I say that all of us are equally creative and innovative, you may shake your head, but you may not truly believe that, isn't it? So the first, I was also like that. Okay, so I thought, okay, I'm so, and there are those people who are really innovative. It took me quite a while to figure out that not that you are more creative, I'm less creative. It's not like that, actually. How it works, how some people are so successful in innovation and some people are not, is because the successful people are very confident about their creativity. And the people who are not successful, they are not so confident about their creativity. So there are only two types of people. Not creative and not creative people, but people who are confident about creativity and people who are not confident about their creativity. Only two types are there. So that comes to the question now, okay, how do you become confident about your creativity? What is the secret? How do you do that? Simple. You have to keep on trying lots of ideas, keep trying solving variety of problems. 10 problems you take, maybe 8 you will fail and 1 or 2 you may succeed. But more and more you try, more and more you go into newer areas and explore things, more and more you'll become confident that even though I fail a few times, eventually I'll be able to solve, I'll be successful. That builds your confidence. It doesn't matter whether you fail or succeed. Every time your confidence goes one level up. Okay. So finally, end of the day, it's about building your confidence in your own creativity. That's what would make you successful in innovation. And all you have to do is just boldly go ahead and try solving a variety of problems. So you should look out for problems around you, pick up, and whatever crazy idea you come up with, don't criticize it. Just go ahead and try it out and see whether it works or not. And if somebody says it's a lousy idea, fine, no problem. Take it and then try to improve on it. And then if you are unable to improve beyond a stage, leave it. Hop on to the next idea, start working on it. So it is only through this iterative process we can build confidence in our creativity. So I have a Sanskrit mantra, which is just a 3-line, which captures this entire core of innovation. It says Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So Icha Shakti means the desire to solve a problem, the desire to make an impact, the desire to meet the unmet needs of somebody. The desire should be there. That's the first and foremost. Second is Jnana Shakti, which is the knowledge. Here we talked about just depth alone is not sufficient. We need to have breadth. Also knowledge of problem solving. Domain knowledge is different. Problem solving knowledge is very different. There are methods of problem solving like TRIZ, design thinking. Many methods are there to solve problems. So you need to have that knowledge also, apart from your domain knowledge. The third is Kriya Shakti, which is your ability to go ahead and do something, a quick and dirty experiment, a proof of concept, proving the feasibility. That Kriya is all about action. So a lot of us have ideas and we have it in PPTs. But the next stage is to do something and put it into action. So desire, knowledge, and action. It is a combination of these three, Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti, which is the secret for any successful innovation. And all of us have the potential. We just have to go and do all those crazy projects to get that confidence. Life is as simple as this. There is nothing more complicated about innovation. And that's how I started. and it took me few years to figure this out. So I don't want you to waste your time to figure this out. So I'm sharing it with you. So just believe me, trust me, and then go ahead and start your innovation journey. That's the best way to go about it.
Definitely, sir. That's a really huge learning for us right now. Moving on, sir, this is a follow-up to this, what you just said. You said that believe in your creativity. Belief in your creativity is what will make you a better innovator. So coming to that front, fear of rejection. It is the most biggest thing that we engineers and anyone who is believing in innovation faces. The fear of rejection. How do you overcome that, sir? We see that as a huge obstacle, being rejected either financially or the idea itself, or failing even after getting into business, all those things. How do we overcome that fear of rejection and take that leap of faith?
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. Because of all the barriers that you can think of, this fear of rejection is the strongest barrier. And if you can overcome it, everything else becomes so easy. Okay. So what is exactly fear of rejection? So you suggest idea, and I just laugh at it. Say, what a stupid idea. What a silly idea. I thought you are very knowledgeable, and what kind of a stupid idea you are proposing. So that's a kind of a rejection. That's a kind of criticism that you are not ready to take up when you propose the idea. So that's a fear of rejection, which is so strong in us. So let me narrate a story. So soon after my PhD, I joined this company called General Electric, GE, their global research. So one of the brainstorming sessions where they pose a problem and invite ideas from people. So I walked into one such session. I was very eager to share my ideas and really make an impact. So I went little late. After the meeting I started, I went. So there were very few seats available for me to sit. So I happened to sit next to a person who is very experienced. He has been in GE for maybe about 15-20 years. And he had very rich experience. And I am just a fresher. My very first week in GE, I was sitting next to him. Okay. Problem was posed. I did have some ideas towards it. So, but then I thought I had also this fear of rejection. So I thought if I tell this idea and people laugh at it, it's going to be a very bad start. So let me not do that. But you have this expert sitting next to me. Let me first tell this idea to him. And if he says it's a good idea, then I will tell it loudly to others. Okay. So I just nudge him and say, Anand, I have this idea. What do you think about it? First idea. Anand says, he's a nice person and he's very knowledgeable. He says, you know what? We tried this idea in GE about 5 years back and it didn't work because of these reasons. So I don't think this will work. He put it in a very nice way. So I said, okay, with that I checked with him. Otherwise, it would have been so funny. And, so I just kept quiet. After 5-10 minutes, I got a second idea. Then again, I thought better to tell Anand, get his opinion and then tell others. So I tell Anand that this is the idea. How about this? This time he is more positive. He says, yeah, this is a good idea. I think this will work better than the first one. But you know what? This but is always a dangerous word. You say but. Then you start wondering what is he going to say. So, we are looking for a solution which should not cost more than 100 rupees. And what you are suggesting will definitely more than 1000 rupees. And there is no way you can bring it down from 1000 to 100. So this idea may not go forward. Okay. Second idea also got shot down. And with great difficulty, I got a third idea. That was also shot down. And believe me, I never got the fourth idea. My mind went blank after that.
Oh my God.
I didn't have the confidence to come up with the fourth idea. After hat-trick, all three ideas being shot down one after another, I didn't have the energy or the enthusiasm or the creativity to come up with the fourth idea. So, if I am smart, maybe the next time what I should do is I should not sit next to this expert the next time. I should do it somewhere else. And I should not hesitate, just go ahead and tell this idea loud, which is a reasonable thing to do. But you know what? I can't do this. Because this expert whom I'm referring to is not just another physical person next to me. It's right inside my head. Okay, if you look at the structure of the brain, there is this left brain and there is a right brain. Okay, left is the logical brain, the right is a creative brain. Every time the right brain proposes a fresh idea, because right brain keeps coming up with a lot of new ideas, it's very creative. Moment it does that, the left brain is a logical brain. It will analyze it very thoroughly and say it's good or bad. If it's good, it will allow it. If it's bad, it will throw it out. And all this happens in a fraction of a millisecond without your any conscious intervention that's possible. So the critic, the person who is the censor board, the person who is rejecting your idea is sitting right inside your head. So there is no way you can escape. So it's a continuous dialogue between the logical left brain and the creative right brain that is happening continuously. Every time a new idea comes up in your mind, the logical brain immediately scans it and says it's good or bad and throws it out if it's bad. So we need some help there. If we want our ideas to be safe, not to be killed by the logical brain, allow this idea to come out. As I told you, out of 10 ideas, maybe 8 will be lousy, it will get killed eventually, but 2 are really very precious. It will become really very innovative. But if your own mind is going to kill that idea in a few milliseconds and these ideas will never see the light of the day, then that is not productive. So there should be a way for you to silence your logical brain for some time and then allow your creative brain to pursue this new idea. Okay, but it's a hardcore. It's not my model. Somebody won a Nobel Prize in medicine for this left brain, right brain theory many years back. It's a fairly well-established model. All I'm telling you is there is a cognitive basis to why we are not getting so many innovative ideas. What happens to all the ideas? Where does it get killed? Where does it go away? That's what I'm trying to explain here. So what I did was I found a few tools and techniques through which we can keep the logical part of your brain quiet for some time so that the creative brain can go ahead and pursue some fresh ideas. So if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to come up with many more innovative ideas. Okay. Not that all these ideas will work, some may not work, but at least you'll be able to bring it out of your head and involve a few more people and try it out. Okay. So let me just give you one sample of a technique, how you can do this. There are many powerful tools to do that. I'll just give you one sample. Okay. So logical brain understands only logical things. It cannot understand anything which is illogical. Right? So moment you try to solve the illogical problem, logical brain will become very quiet. It won't interfere because it doesn't understand. It understands only logical things. So instead of solving a logical problem, if you're trying to solve an illogical problem, then there won't be any interference from your left brain. Your right brain can go ahead and do it. So what you can do is to reverse the problem that you are solving. Okay, I'll tell you how it is. So you solve the reverse problem, so you'll get some ideas. That ideas finally you will be able to adapt to the original problem and come up with an innovative solution. Suppose you're looking at a college, okay, and you're starting a new branch of your college, and you want that to be very innovative, very different from your current college. Okay, fine. Then you ask basically what are the assumptions, whatever comes to your mind when you think of a college. When you think of a college, you think that you need a building, you need to recruit teachers, you need to get students enrolled, you need to have syllabus, exams and things. So these are the common assumptions. Then I will reverse each one of that. Okay, my college won't have a building. My college will work without teachers. My college won't have exams, no syllabus, nothing. And my college will work even without students. Okay, so these are the reverse problems that you have tested. Now try to solve this reverse problem. Okay, so tell me, you have everything, but you don't have a building. Can you still run your college?
Maybe.
You can. The way we are running now, everything is digital. Everybody is at home. They are able to attend classes and absolutely perfect. So without spending any money on a building, I can run a virtual college. Absolutely possible. Fair? Second, Suppose I have a building, I have students, everything. I am started a new course for which I am unable to find professors to come and teach. So what do I do? What are the options I have? How else can I offer this course without having a permanent faculty in place? What else can I do? What do you think?
Online.
Any ideas?
Online.
Online. I can look at whether other universities are offering these courses, whether I can get access to their videos and run those classes. And then can I hire part-time faculty from other universities or from the industry or from here, from there? Variety of options I can look at. So it is possible. Then you look at, suppose students. Suppose you all have a summer vacation and 1.5 months, 2 months, you are not there. But the college is there, the faculties are there, everything else is there. Can the college cater to the needs of some other segment of people during these 2 months when the students are not there? Absolutely possible. People like us in the industry who want to learn something new, they can all attend classes and learn something during those 2 months and further enhance our skill sets and stuff like that. So many things one can do during those 2 months when the students are not there. So when you reverse the problem and come up with ideas, what I'm trying to tell is you can take those ideas and put it in a original problem and make it more innovative also. But when you are pursuing these problems, since the problem is a reverse problem, college without building, a college without faculty, college without students, the logical brain doesn't understand because this is a very illogical situation. It's a very funny, crazy situation. So it's very quiet and allows the creative brain to come up with lots and lots of ideas. Okay, this works actually. You should just try it out. It can be anything, variety of situations you can try it out, but you'll see the difference. But there will be a lot more flow of ideas when you are able to zap the logical brain for a few moments. You will see the difference. So there are many such powerful innovation tools and techniques to actually overcome the early rejection of ideas. What I'm telling is the rejection is not from outside. The rejection is from inside. You are the first person to reject an idea before anybody else rejects it. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to understand the cognitive basis of creativity and innovation. Protect your idea from you yourself killing it. Okay, that's the most important piece. Then it is very easy to convince others. First, you should be able to convince yourself. That's the part I'm talking about. Sure.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you so much. These 300 people now have a huge amount of knowledge on how to overcome.
It's fun, I'm telling you. It's not at all rocket science.
Definitely.
It's really fun because your style of innovation is different from my style of innovation. So I can't tell you do it this way. We have to figure it out. Each one of us have to figure out our own way of innovating. So it's an amazing journey. It's very thrilling. It's the most adventurous thing one can do in life is to innovate.
Definitely, sir. We're all unique in our own ways and we have our own creativity.
True.
And truly, we are the first rejecters of our ideas. So
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful way. I'll definitely try this out.
You are the toughest critic out there.
Exactly. All right. So moving on, sir. Now to drift off from this interview session, a small news has been come to me. Our students from RIT have developed a new app, sir. I don't want myself to explain it. They are here and they wanted to present it to you and launch this app in this platform right now. So over to Anand, sir. Please, sir, take over the session.
Sure.
Yes.
Actually, sir, we have two students with us now, sir.
Yes.
Pranav and Ramasamy.
Excellent.
I think Pranav will be sharing his screen to show us the application. Am I right, Pranav?
I can see Pranav now. Hey, go ahead, Pranav, please.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Can't hear you so well. You have to talk louder.
Is it audible, sir?
Yes, very clear now.
So, myself, Pranav, and Ramasamy, my friend, we both are Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And we have developed a simple translation app, which is actually for Tamil medium, not Tamil, for other language medium students.
Sure.
So I would like to show you my app.
Yeah. Please. Go ahead.
Share your screen.
Okay, I can see your phone screen now.
This is how the app will start.
Yes.
It will show you a list. It will show you the list of words.
Okay.
These words are technological terms, and it will be easy for the user to understand them in their own native language.
Sure.
For now, I have listed out 4 languages: Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam.
But
As you can see,
let me ask you a quick question here. Especially
Yeah.
technology words and technical concepts, since we all have learned in English, I thought that we'll be more comfortable with the English versions of it than
Yeah,
see, although my mother tongue is Tamil, I don't know the Tamil word for many of these technical words, isn't it? So I thought we are all comfortable with English because that's how we learned. Is that right, or am I missing something?
no, actually, you are right, sir. But many students who are learning in Tamil medium, they find it difficult to understand
Okay.
the concept.
Okay.
So at that time, if they
Yeah.
use this app, it will be easy for them to understand the
Get
concept
it.
clearly.
Get it. Sure.
Yeah.
Can you give a demo? Can you just give a sample of what you do?
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
So this is how it shows a list of words.
Okay.
When I click on the particular word, it shows the English word, and it will ask the user to choose the type of language.
Okay.
So I have listed out Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada, Malayalam. In
Okay.
future, I will be enhancing and improving, adding a lot of more languages,
Sure.
foreign language. So when I choose click on Tamil option, it will be displaying the Tamil description and as well as the Tamil term.
Suppose I am a user and I try something and I find that for some reason what it is given is not the exact word in Tamil, but it's a wrong word. So is there an option for me to put my input there and correct it like a Wikipedia? Can I go ahead and correct it and make it better? Do you allow users to do something?
No, not like that, but we allow users to request words,
Sure.
the words which are not available in this app.
They can add.
So yeah, so that the
But there will
database
be a
admin
moderator. It will go through you.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that can also be included in the future versions.
Yeah,
Sure.
possibly.
Subject
Because
matter.
there could be people, because I have seen that at least with Wikipedia, when I search for something, if it's not there, I myself write an article and add to the Wikipedia collection. So I have done that and I see that that works quite good, pretty good. Over time, it becomes really good. The second is there a continuous learning that is built into that so that it becomes better and better with more usage?
No, sir, this is not powered by AI. This is I have just used SD.
So do you have plans for the next gen version that you will bring in more AI features and machine
AI features plus I also wanted to improve it in terms of augmented reality.
Sure.
Yeah, when the user hits a letter, then the augmented reality model will be working and a particular model will be showing here.
Excellent. So what was your motivation for taking up this problem? What is the story behind it? How did you decide to work on this?
Sir, I find many students, having the difficulty to understand many conceptual thing. So I thought developing this would help many people benefit.
So the tagline is language should not be a bar for learning.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all this content, how did you create?
Content, I use web scraping. So I scrapped it from web, and I'm maintaining a database.
Okay.
And
how do you want to commercialize this? You want to open source this or make it a closed product? How do you want to take it forward?
Open source is well and good. If third-party companies are interested in this, then we can think about it.
Sure. So you are in which year you are currently?
Final year, sir. Final year.
Final year. So you have some plans of trying to commercialize this as a product?
I think for now we are planning to release it in Play Store. Right?
Sure.
Just for now, we have plans to upload this in Play Store and.
Perfect. So currently it's all engineering terms, is it? Do you have plans for including
computer science domain,
medical related terms or legal, finance, those kind of other domains?
In future, I would be doing this.
Sure, because especially when doctors have to work with patients from different parts of the country who don't speak English, then it will be very helpful to have translations, and this will be good actually, because this you can carry it with you anywhere, and then and there you will be able to get the translations. So this will be very, very powerful tool. Sure.
As of now, I have only added the computer science related terms. But
Sure.
in future, I will be extending and adding more domains to it.
Fair.
Mechanical,
How long did
yeah.
it take for you to reach this level?
To be accurate, just a month, sir. Actually,
Oh,
the development
okay.
took 15 days, and
Right.
now I'm working on my database. Yeah.
Very nice. And of all the problems that you solved in doing this, what was the biggest problem?
Biggest problem, I didn't find big problem in this.
So far, so good.
This is,
Good.
basic, yeah. So,
Very nice. Very nice. So, how big is your team? How many people are working along with you? This.
Just the two of us with the support staff, sir.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
So what
this
thing
is what
is,
I want.
at this stage, since we have a working product, it will be good to give it to a few people and ask them to use it. And as they use it,
Sure.
you'll be able to observe a lot of things that you can add as useful features to this. So this will be the right stage to open this up a bit and allow people to use it and use that feedback to further improve this product. Actually, this will be the right stage to do that.
Yeah. Thanks, Vinod.
Good evening, sir.
Congrats. Sure. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Sure. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Ramaswamy, final year CSCRIT.
Yes.
Thank you for your valuable feedback. We will be adding it in the future grade.
Excellent. Sure. Congrats.
Thank you. We thank the management for supporting us in all the ways to develop this multilingual application. We feel happy as our app gets launched today by the right person, Dr. Shankar Venugopal. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congrats, guys. Done a brilliant job, and I'm very
Thank you,
happy that you could use this time to come up with something so useful. Really nice. So good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot. All the best.
Screen
All the
sharing,
best.
no?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Can you stop your screen sharing now? Vinod?
Yeah, sir. Just a second.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Anand. It's a brilliant, very nice, very innovative,
Yes, sir.
and a very useful product. And glad that they have chosen the right problem to work on during this time. Very nice.
It's the first version. I think they'll be improving it, as you said. Through iterative process, they can come up with a...
Absolutely.
Sir, can we take a couple of questions from the...
Oh, sure. Please feel free.
Yes, sir. So first we'll start with a question from one of our student. Actually, even we have been seeing in online, LinkedIn, that even abroad, many students who got their placement, say they got it rescinded due to this COVID, Corona time.
Not able to hear you very clearly. Can you repeat?
How about now, sir?
Now it's clear.
I see. Okay. Sir, we've been watching even in social media like LinkedIn, that many students even abroad who got their placement got it rescinded due to this Corona time.
Yes.
Yes. So there's a question from student. So what would you say to students who are worried about the jobs post-pandemic?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So there are a couple of things that I would like to tell. If you look at the post-COVID world, some industries definitely will be impacted by this. So there will be less job openings in certain industries. But certain other industries would be hiring more. They would need more people. Okay? So this is going to happen. So there is a negative and a positive, both impacts you would see that happening. So do we know how exactly we have to prepare ourselves? Because jobs will be there, plenty of jobs will be there, but we need to have those skills for those jobs. Okay? So how do we figure out what those skills are, and how do we make sure that we get those jobs? That's what the whole thing is all about. So whether you are a mechanical engineer, chemical, civil, electronics, computer, whoever you are, over and above your domain knowledge, there are a few skills that you need to pick up between now and the time that you are entering the industry. With those skills, not only you will be able to crack those interviews and get those jobs, but you will also be able to do extremely well in those jobs and really grow very fast. So I'll just mention what those skills are, and it's applicable for all students from all branches. Okay? So I call them as desirable skills. Okay? Desirable skills. And this is actually an acronym, DESIR. These 5 letters represent five very important skills that we need to have for us to be successful. Whether pre-COVID, post-COVID, whatever world you are entering into, you will be super successful if you have these 5 skills. So the first D is design thinking. This is very important. Whatever branch you are, if you are able to learn and practice design thinking. What is design thinking? It's keeping the customer in focus, understanding what are the constraints, what are the problems they have, and designing a solution or a product with that person at the heart of it, not losing the human focus. Because when you are building a high-finder technology solution and things, many times we forget the human user who is right there. So keeping that human in the focus when you are developing a high-tech solution, that's what design thinking is all about. We need to think, is this the kind of product that my customer would be happy to use? Is this technology feasible? And is this economically viable? Means, will I make profit if I make this product and sell? This is the foundation of entrepreneurial thinking and innovative thinking. So we call this as design thinking. This is a skill that all of us should acquire and practice and really become good at it before we enter the industry. And industry will give you plenty of opportunities to further improve this skill. But the first and foremost is design thinking. I can suggest a few resources from where you can start learning all about design thinking.
Sure, sir.
The second is exponential thinking, which is E for exponential thinking. A lot of the technologies that we are going to use in the industry they are growing exponentially fast. In the past, they were all growing linearly, very slowly. But today, they are all crossed that linear phase. They are all in the exponential growth phase. And these technologies are like IoT, robotics, 3D printing, machine learning, AI-assisted decision making, so many technologies which are growing exponentially fast. So if the technology is growing so fast and we are thinking linearly and not non-linearly, then we are not really making the best use of these technologies. So we need to train ourselves to think exponentially. So maybe on a future occasion, I will spend time with you and the students to tell more about exponential thinking, because it's a very powerful tool. We'll talk about it at great length on a future occasion.
Definitely.
So D is design thinking, E is exponential thinking. Yes. Is sustainable thinking. Means whatever solutions and products that we develop should be sustainable. Means they should not have a negative impact on the environment. It should have a very positive impact. Just look at it. Just after 3 weeks of shutdown, people posted pictures where people in Jalandhar were able to see the Himalayas, or the water of Ganga being so clean. They have been trying to clean it for so many years, but with just 3 weeks, we didn't do anything. We just stayed at home, and then it became clean by itself. So nature has the power to heal itself. So the technologies, the products that we develop should not negatively impact the environment. That is what is meant by sustainable thinking. The fourth letter is I, which is innovative thinking. Innovative thinking, I gave an example of challenging the assumptions, solving the reverse problem. There are hundreds of tools and techniques to help you think innovatively. It's not that you have to sit under a tree and suddenly some apple has to fall for you to get an innovative idea. You can make it happen. There are so many tools, techniques, and methods for you to become innovative on demand. Whenever you want an innovative idea, you can become innovative and come up with ideas. It is perfectly possible. That's what innovation is all about. The last one, R, is rational thinking. I don't know. A lot of us, although we may think that we are not biased, there are a lot of biases in our mind, cognitive biases, which come in the way of decision making and make us make a wrong decision at times. Okay. If you are aware of what all cognitive biases we have, then we will be able to consciously avoid that bias influencing our decision. Then we'll be able to make a right decision without being corrupted by the cognitive biases. There are hundreds of biases. You may have 10 of that. I may have 20 of that. So first is for us to know what biases we have, then prevent that bias from influencing our decision. That's called rational thinking. So these 5 skills are super important for us. There will be plenty of jobs. It's all about jobs will be there, but do we have the skills for those jobs? And I'm telling you that these are the 5 skills: design thinking, exponential thinking, sustainable thinking, innovative thinking, and rational thinking. With these 5 skills, you'll be able to crack any interview and you'll be able to do extremely well in any of those jobs that you take. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So that reminds me of a saying which I just saw on LinkedIn. The best way to predict your future is to create it.
Absolutely. So you'll be, in fact, when you have these 5 skills, you'll be creating the future. You'll be shaping the future yourself rather than passively waiting for something to happen. You'll be actively creating it. Really, I mean it. It's not an exaggeration. Really, you'll see that happen. Because the technology is growing so fast that you need to think at the same speed for you to be in sync. The technology will do all the magic for you. You have to just think fast enough and use the technology. When I say it's exponentially growing, the cost of the technology is also exponentially falling. So it becomes more and more affordable. So you can create a high-end solution, high-end technology, high-end solution at a very, very affordable cost. You can do that.
Sir, we'll take another question, sir. That is,
yes.
So a lot of research has been done in alternate fuels.
Yes.
And academic side for a long time. But has any of those been successful so far? Or is it because that electrical vehicles are the future that we are not focusing much on alternate fuel, if you're not focusing?
Sure. So although I am aware of all the work that's been happening in alternative fuels, I have a personal bias for electric vehicles. So if you ask my opinion, I will always talk more about electric vehicles rather than anything else. But if I remove that bias for a moment and then give you a fair statement, I'd say that alternative fuels definitely have potential. Till today, people are looking at hydrogen-powered vehicles. Okay. Technology, even we have developed a hydrogen-powered vehicle. We have built a Scorpio which runs on hydrogen. We have done all that. See, technology is doable. But when it comes to practical commercialization, whether the ecosystem is ready, whether the infrastructure is ready, whether the customer is ready, these are big questions. For example, if you are looking at hydrogen, onboard storage of hydrogen, and then having a network of supply of hydrogen, all these are challenges. Even in places where they use CNG, we see that there are very few places where CNG is available, and you will see a long queue of vehicles standing outside those CNG. So there are certain practical challenges when you look at alternative fuels. But if few innovative people are able to solve these problems, then this will become practically feasible and viable economically also. But today it is not. So there are a few more problems to be solved before we reach there. But the way I see, at least the mobility happening, it's more towards a purely electric vehicle, which is basically electric motor and a very good energy storage system like a lithium-ion battery, a combination of this powering the vehicle. And there are no problems around pollution, absolutely, everything's taken care. One thing that's interesting around this is, at the end of the day, when you want to charge your electric car, if you're going to connect it to the grid and charge your car, and the grid is powered by burning fossil fuels, then it's not a complete solution. So what we should remember is, the source of the electricity should also be a renewable source. It could be solar, wind. If you're making sure of that, then I can very confidently say that the electric car would be the right direction in terms of making mobility more sustainable. So that's what I firmly believe in. That's how I see the future there.
And one last question, sir.
Sure.
And so since when it comes to electrical vehicles, so the mileage of the vehicle depends on the energy storage of the battery.
Yes.
So do you think we are there that the energy storage of a battery can compete with the current mileage of a conventional vehicle?
There are a couple of ways to look at it. Okay, so one thing is you want to avoid a situation where you are in the car and the battery is out of power. You don't want to get stuck. So that means you should have a lot more charge on the battery than what you would need. That comes to what you would need. So if you are driving from Chennai to Bangalore, then you want the car to have enough energy for 350 kilometers. But if you are driving from home to your college, maybe 20 kilometers, 50 kilometers max, not beyond that. And if on the weekend, if you are going somewhere farther, maybe 100 kilometers. So it varies a lot. Okay. Just because someday you are going to do a 350 kilometer or a 500 kilometer drive doesn't mean that every day you should have a battery which will have enough storage for 500 kilometers. So one should be very practical about this, because today almost 50% of the cost that you are paying for an electric car goes towards the cost of the battery. So if you are going for more storage, that means you have to shell out more money. So that's a conscious decision that you have to make. So it's good to think of modular solutions where for your daily commute, you have a battery which gives you, say, 50, 100 kilometers. Today, the Mahindra electric cars, for example, easily will give you 150 kilometers per charge. Okay. It's good enough for a regular car. But on a weekend, if you're going to drive 500 kilometers, then it should be a modular design so that you can attach the extra battery pack to it, so that without any tension, you can drive and come back. Those kind of innovative ideas one should look at. Second is also about charging. So now, today, if your car is a petrol or a diesel car, you drive into a petrol bunk, you fill your tank and drive out in 5-10 minutes. But if I say that you have to wait for 4 hours to charge your battery, I'm sure you won't like it. So we need fast charging, which is maybe less than half an hour, you should be able to charge your battery. And such charging stations should be available across the country so that you'll be able to seamlessly travel across. So there are two things around this question that you asked. One is about how much charge you want to carry, and can it be modular so that I can add more whenever I need. Second is about how quickly can I charge if I run out of charge. Can I do it the time that it takes to order a cup of coffee and drink it, which could be 15-20 minutes. Within that time, if I can charge my battery even say 80%, it's good enough. I can keep going another 150 kilometers. So these are the ways in which we have to think about it. And battery technology is definitely evolving very fast. So getting more energy stored in a battery is not a problem. One can very well do that. But you'll also be spending more money to buy that battery. That's the only reason I'm talking about this. Say how we can balance all these things. Based on your specific requirement, one should customize the vehicle. That's very important.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And we have 4 to 5 more questions, but I think...
Sure. Feel free.
Can we take it now, or can we take it offline, sir?
No, I am ready. As long as you guys are not getting bored, we can definitely have this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because this is a Sunday evening, the right time you have chosen. So we can definitely take more questions.
Yes, sir. Sir, how the current generation students can improve the cross-functional abilities pertaining to innovation? I think you already mentioned about how to get trained in the cross-discipline, the importance of cross-discipline training. But in order to do innovation with in a cross-discipline field, how should they prepare themselves?
Perfect. So, couple of things. One is in terms of getting the breadth. So if I'm a mechanical engineer, I want to learn a little bit about electrical electronics and basic coding and things like that. One thing that I can definitely think of, which is what I do, is to go to Coursera, edX, Udacity, these kind of MOOCs-based things. Even our own NPTEL and Swayam, a lot of good things are there, where I can very quickly go listen to a few lectures, do certain things and very quickly pick up. That is one thing definitely I will do. Then I will make a lot of friends with students from other branches. Because typically if I am a mechanical engineer, I tend to hang around with only students from my own department. I would consciously make friends with students from other departments and take up project, industry problem, which actually cuts across mechanical, electrical and say computer domain, and create a cross-functional team. say one student from mechanical department, one from electrical, one from electronics, one from computer. 4 of us would create a team, work on a problem, work together. So that is yet another way to broaden my knowledge, because I'm solving a real problem and I'm working with people from other departments. So that is the second idea that I can think of. The third is when it comes to innovation specifically, I mentioned about an innovation methodology called TRIZ, T-R-I-Z, T-R-I-Z. It's a Russian method of solving problems. So a lot of it is in open source. Very easily you can Google and read up all about TRIZ. There are very good resources. I can share a few with you. It's very easy. You can learn on your own and apply TRIZ for solving problems, and it will accelerate your innovation journey very, very fast. That's a third one. The fourth one is basically design thinking. Again, there are a lot of good courses on design thinking. You can learn about it and apply in your projects. And the fifth one is to take up a lot of summer internship projects in the industry. And it may not be with the big companies alone. It can be with many startups also. But you should spend a summer, solid 2 months you should spend living with them, working with them, being in that environment, and being part of the team that is working on a current problem. That exposure you should get. And 4 years of engineering, every summer, 2 months, you should do one industry project, either with a big company or with a startup, something you should do. So that 4 into 2, 8 months of rich exposure you will have by the time you pass it. So these are the things that I can think of, which would actually help you to be industry ready and to also become really strong innovator.
Thank you, sir. So, there's a question. Does eugenics have something to do with innovative thinking or IQ? That is,
I am unable to hear you. Can you talk louder? Yeah.
Does eugenics has something to do with innovative thinking or IQ?
Eugenics. I really don't know what is eugenics. So I don't know.
I think I just Googled now, so even I didn't know.
Yeah.
So actually, eugenics is about that is from where you hail, from which geographical location you hail. Does geographical location have any overbearing over IQ of a person?
I get it. Sure. This is a very controversial topic. So nobody knows for sure, in the sense whether we are born creative, or even if you are not born creative, can we become creative? Okay, this is what it finally comes to. So whether you are born in India or US or Japan or China, does it make a difference? Or whether you are born in a village or in a city, things like that, or whether you learn in English or whether you learn in your regional language, whether that will make a difference. Is there inherent bias? Is there something that will make somebody more innovative and somebody less innovative? I don't think so, honestly, because creativity and innovation is something deep within. And it doesn't have a language, it doesn't have a regional flavor, nothing to it. It's about the way you solve a problem. It's about the way you are able to change your thinking. You are thinking in one way, you are able to let go of that and think in a different way. It's that flexibility. So it's more like a muscle. You go to the gym and exercise your arm muscle or biceps or triceps. It's the same way it's about exercising your creativity muscle. So I don't think it will really matter where you are born, and I don't think so. All of us, God has created all of us with sufficient potential for creativity and innovation, and all we have to do is do a lot of experiments and projects to become more and more confident that we are creative. That's the only thing we need to do, nothing else. So I think all of us are at the same level when it comes to our ability to innovate. I don't see any difference. Somebody is more confident, somebody is less confident, and the less confident person can become more confident by trying out more and more projects. It's only by trial and error that we are going to progress in this innovation journey. There is no other easier route.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I think with that positive note.
Anand sir, if I may add, I just identified another question.
Yes.
Possible?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. It is
I know that you
Mahindra,
had a couple of more cousins. Yeah, feel free. Yeah.
No, sir. This is related to Mahindra, actually.
Sure.
A friend of mine, he's an automotive enthusiast. He wanted to ask you. Pininfarina. It is an Italian car design company. It has been acquired in 2015.
That's part of Mahindra.
Mahindra.
So a lot of our vehicles are being designed by them. They are based in Italy. Yeah.
And are we expecting a supercar from Mahindra anytime because of
Definitely.
that activity?
So you'd also seen that car, that the electric car that we built with Pininfarina's design. I'm sure someday. See, the idea is we should be able to bring design and technology together. That's the first part. And second part is keep it at a price that is affordable for all markets, be it the Indian market or any other emerging economies. So it's a threefold: bringing the best of design, the best of technology, and also making sure that it's an affordable product. So that's what we should move towards. And just because we are making a product which is not very expensive doesn't mean that we should not use high-end technology, or doesn't mean we should not use high-end design. One can do all that. That's where true innovation is, bringing all three together. And I'm sure in the years ahead, you will see the best of design, technology, and also cost affordability coming together in Mahindra's products, whether for the automotive or for the farm. You'll see that because we are actually expanding globally. We are actually expanding our research, data, skills, capability building across multiple countries. If you look at, we have in North America, in Detroit, then we have in South Korea, Sanyong. This is all where automotive business has their engineering team sitting, and all new products are collaboratively designed by these teams across the globe. Same way, if you look at the farm, we have in Japan, we have in Turkey, variety of in Finland, so many countries. So we have the best brains from different regions coming together, working together to create the new products. So all these things you will see happening in the years ahead. Sure.
Okay, a follow-up to that. I just read an article that Tata Motors is requesting $1.2 billion funding from the British government for due to the COVID crisis. How, thinking of that, how is Mahindra performing right now, sir? In the
Sure. See, definitely when our factories are closed for 2 months in a row, it is definitely something to worry about. But what we have also seen is in these 2 months, at least the Mahindra Research Valley, where we are all involved in engineering, design, and things like that, we are all able to effectively work from home during these 8 weeks and made sure that our work is not impacted. Everything is moving pretty well. And once we are able to reopen, which could be maybe a week or two from now, in a phased manner, as we bring in people, I'm very confident that we'll be able to get back to normalcy. But during this time, what is most critical is being very frugal about how much we spend the money and making sure that our cash flow is in good shape. These are the important precautions that we have been taking, and this so is true with many other companies. But also what we have done during this time, since we can't run our factories the conventional way, we thought why not we use these facilities to make things that we need for the current situation. So we started making respirators. Our plant in Igatpuri, which is near Nashik, which makes engines for our vehicles, has been making respirators. So we also have our plants making face shields and masks and various PPEs and things like that. So we converted all these things in these 2 months to make things that we actually need urgently. That's all. I didn't even know the spelling of a respirator 2 months back. But now we have a big team working with the Igatpuri plant only on this. Okay. And it's a very low, affordable, very nice, innovative design of a respirator. So all these things are ways in which we are managing the current so that we stay very positive. We continue to hone our creativity and prepare ourselves, because post-COVID, there could be newer opportunities, newer problems that we need to solve. There could be many, many things which could be new. So this is a chance, this is a time for us to prepare ourselves for all that. So that's how we are using the current situation today.
Okay, thank you.
All clear, Ilanthiraiyan?
Yes, sir, yes.
So I think from the energy level, like I'm sure that there are many people still asking questions, and I'm sure that you will still.
I'll be more than happy. Anytime you could do that. And I also would like to get back to you guys for a more elaborate discussion on those desirable skills, on exponential thinking, exponential innovation. There are a few topics which would definitely I would love to come back and have a longer chat with you people. So I think one thing that we have realized is post-COVID also we can continue to have these kind of webinars and things like that, which makes it easy because Sunday evening is good for me and I'm not traveling anywhere. I'm sitting at home. You're also sitting at home. And 5 minutes from now, you can go back and do whatever you want to do. So this is a great way to manage work-life balance because we can do something productive. At the same time, we can still have our Sunday time with our family. So I think we should continue these practices. So I'd be more than happy to have a couple of more sessions to cover a few other topics that could be of interest to your audience. We can very well do that.
Yes, sir. That's something which everyone would want. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Anand. Thanks.
Yes,
And thanks, Ilanthiraiyan, for this excellent interview. I really enjoyed those questions. And really, I was able to think loud. A lot of the things that I had in mind, I could actually connect as a very nice, satisfying experience for me answering those questions. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And
Sir.
thanks
you
a
so
lot.
much.
Thank you so much.
It's delightful to have you here, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay. Have a good time. Take care and stay safe. Sure.
Yes.
Bye, friends. Bye, Pranav and Ramasamy. Bye. See
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye.